I have for the $25 members at patreon.com/Chrissy Comedy, we do a thing called the Chris and Eddie Show. I call it Edibles Eddies, where I take an edible with Homeless Pimp, and then they wait 30 minutes, and then I do the show on Eddies. And we call it the Chris and Eddie Show. And I told the story, I started reading texts on the Patreon from Seinfeld.
Oh my God, that's wild!
That's wild, dude. And I was perfect.
You get to the $30, it's Cosby text.
Oh yeah. But anyway, my mom said you were one of her favorites. She always remembered you. You, Sam Morrill, she liked, and then Harrison Greenbaum.
Well, he's a gay.
Yeah.
But, no, he's a nice kid. But
he is gay.
That was a wild time, and it was me and you, I think, at the end. I think it was neck to neck.
Well, then one year I got all the way to the championship, and it was me versus Norman, and Norman won, the scumbag.
Yeah.
He beat me.
That was a big deal. That was like 1 and 2 right there.
Yeah, and
that
what
was
did you, I forgot what you won. Nothing crazy, right?
You get like $200 and a fleshlight or something ridiculous, you know. But you know how cheap Caroline's is. But yeah, that was a big deal, and I had like I got a little misty after.
Yeah. I just heard my mom whisper, "What's a fleshlight?"
I'll send her one. I got a million of them.
I got a question for Mark. What's the worst comedy gig you've ever lived?
What's the what?
The worst comedy gig.
Oh my God, the worst gig ever. Probably like I've done a million corporates. And I've told the story before, but I got this big gig because Seinfeld shouted me out. And once Seinfeld did that...
I was at the Mets game he shouted you out at.
That's
I was
crazy.
sitting in the stands.
Wow.
How crazy is that? I was at the freaking Mets game that he
Have you told the story about how he doesn't call you anymore?
Oh, yeah. We did it on... I have for the $25 members at patreon.com/Chrissy Comedy, we do a thing called the Chris and Eddie Show. I call it Edibles Eddies, where I take an edible with Homeless Pimp, and then they wait 30 minutes, and then I do the show on Eddies. And we call it the Chris and Eddie Show. And I told the story, I started reading texts on the Patreon from Seinfeld.
Oh my God, that's wild.
That's wild, dude. And I was like, oh boy. So Pip was like, put it at the 25 level. That's how we thought of the idea, because I was like, we got to put it out, right? He was like, yeah, but dude, you started reading Seinfeld texts.
Yeah,
and I was like, what do we do?
God.
He's like, what if we put it at the $25 level? I was like, all right, yeah, let's give her a name. And he was like, well, you took edibles. I was like, the Chris and Eddie Show. He's like, perfect.
You get to the $30, it's Cosby text.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, I'll start. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so you know, it's crazy. He's shouting me out, whatever, and it didn't do shit for my career. I thought, I'll be selling out the next day. Didn't make a blip.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good for me, and my mom fingered herself and all that. But other than that, it was.
Hey, Mom.
Oh, sorry. She knows. She's done it. And yeah. So what was I saying? Sorry, your mom's distracting me. Yeah. So, but what it did do was these corporates hit me up like, who's this whiz kid that Seinfeld's talking about, you know?
Sure.
And so I got hired by all these giant pharmaceutical, Ford Motor Company. Money. It was a good year.
Yeah.
And I bombed every single one of them. But this one in particular, they bought me a tuxedo. They got me a limo to Philadelphia in this beautiful ballroom. It was a drug company. It was like the Oscars for drugs.
Right.
For like pills and Pfizer and all this shit. And it was a 3-hour thing. I was supposed to do 15 minutes up top and actually, you know, Jimmy Kimmel, do the award show.
Sure.
Ellen DeGeneres, whatever it was. Billy Crystal. So I bombed the first 15 minutes. This is like the biggest gig of my life.
How many people are there, would you say, roughly?
Huh?
How many people?
I don't know, 600 in a ballroom, tuxedo. It's like, that's the guy who owns routers, and that's the guy who invented the iPhone.
Harvey
6.
Weinstein.
Yeah, all those guys were there. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Al Gore. It was crazy.
Oh, my God.
I know. And so I got to do all the, you know, the best antidepressant goes to the doo-da-da. You know, all the drugs that sound like black women's names. And so I'm in the tuxedo. I go up. They hate me already. I got to eat dinner with them, too. And then they go, Mark Norman, the host. And I go up there. There's a big podium and everything. And the first 15 minutes, I die.
Zero.
And I'm doing Tonight Show, like, tested
Norman's
material.
got great. If you ask Mark to do his A stuff, it's killer shit.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
And obviously clean and all that. So I was like, man, this is a tough group. But I did one joke about a vibrator, but it's very clean. It's just, I mentioned the word vibrator once. I see a woman get up in the back. She walks out. I go, whatever. She's probably menstruating or miscarriaging or whatever it is. And then I go back, to my act, blah, 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 bombing, whatever. Then we go into the award show, and I'm bringing up, this guy won. He comes up, says this little thing with the trophy. I make fun of him, and then they didn't like that. So at one point, somebody's giving a speech, and I have a moment off to the side, and this lady in a headset's like, get over here. She's like, You pissed off the CEO's wife. She's furious. She's chewing him out in the lobby. I don't know what's going to happen, but it ain't pretty. And she's kind of crying a little bit. I'm like, what is going on? So I go back up there. I'm like, hey, the award for the best diarrhea pill goes to this guy. So he comes out, and then they bring me back, and they're like, you're fired. He's pissed. The CEO is yelling at me. He's like, how could you say that? My wife is furious. You're such a misogynist. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is all Tonight Show stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hope for Seinfeld with this. He's like, you're a disgrace. You should be ashamed of yourself. They fired me. They made me return the tuxedo. They gave the stack of cards to some random Indian guy, and he had to host the rest, and they sent me home.
What?
Yeah.
Did you get paid?
I had to fight for it, but I got like half the money.
Shout out Judy Marmel. Right?
Yeah, that was a nightmare.
Hey, what you're going through right now, somebody was going through in 1200s.
I know.
Stupid.
And you're like, wait, this is just what happened to me on Twitter. It's all the same. We're all cum guzzlers, just like we were 100 years ago.
100%, dude. Shout, guzzle cum.
Yes.
And if you want something to guzzle to cum with, go to magicspoon.com/chaos. That's the cereal. Goes good with cum.
That ain't milk, folks.
Yeah.
You know what they say? Haters are like crickets.
Yes.
They chirp all day long, and then when you get near them, they're quiet.
They're quiet. My father said this in 2009. He said, you know what's going to be the biggest problem in our country? He said this tweeter bullshit.
Really?
I swear to God, my dad's got an 8th grade education. I was like, why do you say that? He's like, because not everyone's supposed to be talking.
Ooh.
You're not supposed to hear from everybody.
Yeah, pansexual. That's somebody who doesn't want the pandemic to end.
Peter Pansexual.
Doesn't it feel like some people, that's somebody who fucks peanut butter, but doesn't it feel like
There
some
you go.
people are like, they don't want this to end. They want to keep the sadness going. They want
Yes,
to keep
of
the
course.
trauma going. You're like, what are we doing? We got to get out of this.
Well, here,
That's what
everybody
it's all
wins.
about. Trying to prop each other up, help each other, hang out, have a good time. But
Yeah.
we're going to jerk off to murder hornets?
What it-
Enough.
no.
You don't care.
You don't. Yeah, you don't care. So it's all bullshit shit.
It's bullshit, and our priorities are out of whack. Like, fat people die from COVID, but nobody wants to call you fat, so
Sure.
we'd rather not call you fat and let you die.
Sure.
You know, but sometimes you gotta be a little mean or do the right thing. That's what childbirth and all that is all about.
Sure.
Is like, you go, hey, you can't have Magic Spoon every day, and
Yeah.
the kid goes, I want it. You go, you can't.
You can't.
And the kid cries, but it's the best thing for the kid.
Right, but if you are gonna have a cereal, Magic Spoon is a good alternative. It's keto friendly.
Yes.
It's got no sugar and it's got 17 grams of protein.
What?